Come link with me under the Iroko tree. Make a reason, the rebel season. Speaking the truth for the youths. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules.
Blessed love, welcome forward again. Under the Iroko tree, Iroko reasoning, spiritual roots. Tapping into the spiritual roots of things. As always. Yeah, and we just want to say give thanks for the support thus far, and we look forward to more support. We appreciate love it. And then we say give thanks to the ancestors, those who taught us what not to do, those who taught us what to do. So now we know what to choose from. And we say Mer, Hotep, Anko Jah, Seneb. As we come forward in the spirits of Ubuntu, Ma'at. And I hope all of the ones them out there are good so far. So once no good, me good, you know what I mean? So give thanks to be here once more. Yeah, so we're going to jump into the herbs corner. Let's see what we have today. So yeah, as we say, herbs corner. Today I don't know if anyone will recognize this one. Yeah. So information will be up on the screen as to pronunciation and spelling and all of that. So I'm not going to kill the pronunciation of it, murder it, slaughter it. But this is Tridox, broken bent. Also I think bacon box. So yeah, this is our next good one, powerful one. And what we recognize with herbs and plants and nature, as we call it, is that, as we say, some things good for internal, some for external. I want to drop disclaimer, not a physician, not a doctor, none of these things. We are just doing some searching. As we say, we are trying to check ourselves on the research thing, because meaning repeat. That means you did do it before, so it can't be research if you never looked before. So searching if for the first time you look, research if you did look already. So yeah man, as we do the video we say spelling or being spelled. So we say word and sound and power. So we have to be careful with the speech, with the language, and what we are saying and how we are saying it. So rise with vibration, rise yourself to a higher level of thinking and doing. Yes, so Tridox, broken bent, or bacon box. So this one now, if you can see the bloom, it is somewhat similar to Spanish needle. For all who know Spanish needle, the bloom is somewhat similar to that. Yeah, so the leaves look that way. So that's a bloom that not fully out as yet. This is one that is fully out. And the bees, the honey, all of these things, the bees love, I would know, so them all blooms. As far as I can tell, bees take whatever they take from the blooms, all blooms, as far as I can see around me. They discriminate against none. So they know how they do their mixing and their blending for it to come out, and we consume the honey and we're still alive and it's good for us and there's no poison. So give thanks to the bees. And the next thing we recognize as it comes to the food source, if we ever lose bees, we're food in a trouble. So we need to understand that too. Yeah man, so this one I know. And the next thing we want about herbs and the wild and nature, as we call it, we realize that the more we know about these things, we see the food source become way bigger, wider, more variety. For most of us only eat the same thing over and over and over and over. Your body needs so many minerals and vitamins, and there's no way you're going to get it from eating and consuming the same things every day. As we talk about eating and consuming, and I see people buying food or cooking food and they're doing pasta along with rice, then with chicken or beef or whatever that meat source is. No vegetable, no fruits, no. So we're just eating, so that's why we can't get rid of some of the ailments that we have. And we talk about ailments, I think I've said this before, I am struggling with ulcer, and that is what is or has motivated me to be on the journey, to be learning, searching, and then sharing. Because I know some of me alone out there go through these things. It might not be ulcer, it might be something else. Something like, ladies, the menstrual cycle, where you take for granted that you have to be having these bloatings and these pains and all these things. Those things are not normal. They have just become normalized and accepted because we're not looking into, let's say, find solutions for these challenges. They're not really normal. So I want to even drop in going to get back to the herb. I'm going to drop in, if we'll do the history, we'll find out that even the way our ladies are having babies, you're lying flat on your back, pushing against gravity. If we do the research, we will find the birthing chair of our ancestors, which is where you'll be sitting upright and then you'll be working with gravity. Someone would be there to take the baby from you as you allow gravity to allow the baby to just naturally come out with little or no effort. So there we go. We have to tap into the history, have to do the searching, and if we look and I go look again the research. So yeah, so back to this Tridax broken bent bacon box. So this is a powerful one as well. Again, most of what I will be showing will be things I will be trying for myself, especially if they're showing me benefits to deal with the ailments and also contribute to the health as well. So it's not just about ailments, it's also, let's say you already have the ailments, you want to heal or overcome that to the point where you don't have to struggle with that no more, but also going beneficial to your health, so you can it becomes preventative measures. Yes, so we'll drop in again. The cure to your health, or healing to your health, or the best thing for your health is knowledge, and not just knowledge but use of the knowledge, and not more pharmaceutical dosage. So the key to your health is knowledge and use of the knowledge, not more pharmaceutical dosage. Yes, again, we're not doctor, we're not a physician, none of that, we're just learning and sharing. Zane? So as we did say, the bloom similar to Spanish needle. So this is the Spanish needle there. So that's the Spanish needle, and that's the broken bacon box. So kind of similar. So you do the research, and I think most people know Spanish needle. Probably use it to feed rabbit and goat and everybody. So yeah. Yeah, so other names for it as well, Tridax daisy, wild daisy, coat buttons. That was the next name I was trying to remember. And also Cadillo chisaka. So those are other names for it. I want to get into medical uses. Yes, anti-inflammatory. Studies have shown antibacterial, hypotensive, antioxidant, wound healing. So all these things has also been proven to antiviral, anticoagulant, antifungal, insect repellent as well, antioxidant and anti-diabetic. So as we say, all these things are around us. Food, medicine, which is one and the same, and some can be used internally, some externally. So this is an next powerful one. Further studies have yielded glucoside, amino acids, and we know amino acids is the building blocks of protein, and everything where you can check around you. I think them trick we again to tell you say meat and just meat and these things you get the best protein from, but everything is made up of amino acids, which is the building blocks of protein. So you find protein is just at the levels, you know what I mean. So there we go. So amino acids, flavonol, tannins, steroids, pectins, phenols, alkaloids, fats, volatile oils, as well as elements of sulfur, iron, sodium and chlorine. So there we go. Whole lot of health properties and contribution to health right there in these wild things, as we call them. Well, we are the wild ones because we are the ones running around all the place doing all the foolishness, while they are just there growing, ready for us to harvest and use for the betterment of ourselves, to live our best lives. So those were the properties and some things it's said to be able to treat or heal: jaundice, bronchial cataract, diarrhea, inflammation, ulcer, fistula, hemorrhoids. The leaf juice can be used to cure fresh wounds, to stop bleeding. So all these things, as I say again, as you can see, I'm not looking into the camera to be giving this information. So I am doing nothing special more than doing the searching and the learning and sharing. So as we said, the phone, the technology, we have it at our fingertips. All we need to do is just use it. Yes, the information is there. So I'm not doing anything special. We just have to find the zeal, the enthusiasm as I said before, why are we not standing up to ourselves for ourselves? And these are the ways we should be standing up for ourselves to want the best for our health, and then everything will be good from there. Health, as we said, the cliche, it might be, but health is the greatest wealth. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah, man, so the greatest thing you can do for yourself is don't take none of this information from me. Just let me provide it. So you will take it now. If it is that you want to use it, and go do the searching for yourself and make it research as well to confirm the information. Check multiple sites so you can see so the information is basically the same across each site. So yeah, man, check that out. Tridax broken bent, or bacon box, or coat buttons. Herbs Corner. Blessed. So yeah, as we say, we are share also what we consider our people tell us our shortcomings. And I don't know if fans and ones out there go through the same thing. We can talk about it in the comment section. Help each other through all these real life situations. You know what I mean? So it's not to deny them, but to learn how to manage them. So one of the shortcomings of me and deal with is what I would call follow through. You know, you get an idea, you get enthusiastic about it, you know what I mean? Everything will flow nice and feel right, you know, and you make a move towards it, but give it a couple of days and that enthusiasm falls and that zeal falls, and it's like and you don't no longer feel like following through. And I think I've done that so many times in my life. So a time for me start work on that, you know what I mean, push myself some more towards things, especially things that make sense, you know what I mean. And it is not that everybody else around you have to believe it, but you have to see, conceptualize a vision for yourself and see how it can work and plan it out and work it out. So I think I get caught too many times with that, not following through on something that probably would have been a brilliant outcome, you know what I mean. So we'll try that, we'll try work on ourselves in those regards, in those aspects, push yourself. Yeah, so as we say, what you are dealing with, what you are struggling with, where, you know what I mean, nothing wrong with struggling with these things, but if we're going to just remain at the struggling, that's where the problem or the challenge is great. And then these things become problems when we don't seek solutions, but they're mainly challenges when we do go for the solutions, to get better, to be better, to grow ourselves, you know what I mean, from within more so. So yeah, man, I need to follow through more and the ideas and the things where make sense, and not just lose zeal and give up halfway. Blessed. Yeah, so the main topic for this one now is asking the question. I'm not saying, I'm asking the question. So based on what you come up with as the answer for you, and then with what I will be saying, I guess that will give you the answer. So the question is, do we really love our children? Do we really love our children as much as we say we do? And if we say we love them, what is the level of the love, the measurement of love? What are we willing to do to prove that love, to show that love, and not just say? Because we know so love is an action thing, you know what I mean? So, do we really love our children? And this topic kind of come up more so from traveling on the bus the other day. This lady beside me with a lovely little girl. So she going on the bag and take out what we call snacks and treats, which are more mistreatment than anything else. So she gave her the little child what we call is Pringles, them little handy package thing. So I asked her, I can button her business for a little bit, and she said, alright, fine. So I tell her, say, these things she need to try to cut her daughter off of them, or the little girl off them. The big foots and the cheese tricks and all these things, we need to break our children from these things. These juices we're going to the supermarket, pick up a dozen and 2 dozens off. You know what I mean? We need to stop. So I tell her, say, better she boil 2 green banana and crush it with some real coconut oil or some of them things and give to the child. Because that's way better for her. Well, she did not respond. I'm hoping she's not there saying, how this man feel like he can tell me about my picnic and Ray. Hopefully she's looking to herself and I say, alright, let me look into what I say, let me do some research, or do some searching, find information on these things when I feed my child on. And it's bigger than just this one parent or parents. So these are the things that we're doing. So we want to leave a legacy of everything else, money, house, car. So what about the legacy of health? Are we really thinking on that? And then there's a next situation where I've heard other parents, for the most part females, let's say they become aware, they find out that there are certain things that's not good for them. So they are breaking off these things, meat, whatever. Those bad things are the chemicals, the liquors, the sodas, all these things. But at the same time, you have developed, for the most part, when we develop health issues, these things bring us down these roads to try to cure ourselves and take ourselves out of pain and misery. But for the moment you realize there's something going wrong with you based on these things, the eating and the drinking, that is not good for the health, we are still giving those things to our children. Because I heard, as me say, a mother say something the other day that is, the only time me might drink a soda is when I give my daughter or my son and them I drink it and I might taste a little. So there it is. I, the parents, I break off of this thing because I know say it's not good for my health, but I'm still giving it to my child. So we need to check that within ourselves. You know what I mean? Again, simply putting spirituality is knowing the right thing and doing the right thing. And as we say, the greatest waste of time is knowing the right thing and not doing it. So we can't be saying we love, we pick them, and at the same time things that we have been doing that is now proving harmful to us, we're still growing our children and those things. So it becomes habitual for them, just like how we did. Because enough of what we grew up on is just tradition and we stick to it and it becomes habit and we just continue until we realize it's not good for us. But we're still doing and giving those things to our children. So how much are we really loving them? So when it comes to food, one of the greatest things we need to start do is we need to stop eat for or based on taste or based on emotion or based on what we have been used to and what we like. We need to start search and research the things that we are eat. There's so many vitamins and minerals that we are missing out on that we probably not even know of. As we said, the regular ones, the vitamin C, we have a vitamin B and all these things. But there's so many other potassium, chlorine, iron, sulfur, all these things what the body needs. The body is this temple is an electrical being based on the atoms and all those things that makes us up. If you realize when we go in front of the TV, we can feel that static and all these things. That can't happen if you're not electrically based as well. So we need to understand these things. And as we say in the herbs corner, when we start find these herbs and everything else around us that is good for us, we realize our food source is not that limited as we think. If we really check in and do what we do and become really aware with the knowledge, we probably don't have to go to supermarkets as much as we're doing. So as we say, it's just habit. We're just following on habits and what we call tradition. And it's still leading us right back to those ailments that our parents have been through. And we see it and we know it and the sufferation and the pain of them go through. But we're still sticking to the same lifestyle that is giving us the same things in terms of ailments and sickness. As we said, that the scientists or the doctors them now are coming up with the fact that some cancers are not really as hereditary as we think. It is just based on the fact that you grow up with your parents doing the same things and you come doing the same things, eating, drinking the same things. So therefore, if that causes your parents whatever condition they had, it most likely going to create the same conditions for you. Yes, do we really love our children? And why are we not focusing on leaving the legacy of health for them? It's kind of like the same way where we get caught up as parents saying we are trying to give our children what we never had. And one of the key things to that is that when we need to realize, all of us from whatever spectrum of life, wherever in the world that we are, we need to realize the fact that we are here right now, whatever age and time and space we occupy, we're still there, breathing, have life, is that all that we ever needed, we had. because we could not have survived if we never get what we did need. So the rest of it was mere wants and mere desires based on probably seeing other people with it. But the fact is that we never needed it, because the fact that we survived without it, we never needed it. We lived without it, we never needed it. So we get caught up as parents now trying to give somewhat of value to our children, but what we're doing for the most part is giving them, let's say, so-called valuable things, or giving them things of value rather than trying to give them a life of value. Yes, with principles and morals, spiritual depth, choosing the will, the power, the enthusiasm to choose better over worse, the right over the wrong, as much as possible. So we need to give them quality of life and not try to give them so-called quality of things, or really not gonna help them in the way it really is supposed to help them. So it can't be that we love with children, with grandchildren, all these little picnic them around with, and the things that we realize are causing us problems, we're still giving it to them, teaching it to them, handing it to them, allowing them to be habitually now taking on these things to create the same kind of pain and suffering what we are going through. That is not making sense to us. We need to hold ourselves to higher standards, and we need to put higher standards for our children, because it should be that even though I know say the thing bad for me and me probably still do it, I should have supposed to drape up myself and say, well, the 1, 2, 3, 4 where you are going with, don't give the picnic that, you know. So we need to be stronger within ourselves for we picnic them, for we children them, and stop making excuses and all these things and relaxing into the nonsense. You know what I mean? As I said before in our next video, we have normalized stupidity. So we need to call the spade a spade. We need to, as I say, hold ourselves at a higher standard and create even a higher standard for our children, so they can become even better than us from that perspective. So we need to challenge ourselves more. We need to think more, see ourselves at a better place, and then want to push and lift our children to a better place as well. So do we really love our children? What we are give them, what we are show them, what we are have them a listen, what we are teach them? How many of us on these holidays where we go and we spend crazy money, so we are treat them, which is really mistreatment if we look on it, you know what I mean? Because we still buy them the little full toys and the little ray. Not that them not for have fun. What if you give them, let's say, one of them little toy there, what about one book along with that? So when him done play with that, him can go read that book, and we are talking about, I as the parents, we go do some searching or some research into the history, know where we are come from, and make sure say our youth them are come, our children are come, knowing these things even earlier than we got to know them. Personally, me I try that with my son. I not claim to be perfect, and the thing is, I go and give him, I go and plant the seed, I go and give him as much as me I learn at the age of me I try to give it to him earlier. Will he take it? I am not sure, but that's up to him. But it shouldn't be the fact that I did not try to give it to him. So these things, we need to hold ourselves more. And I'm going to say this too, we talk about responsibility. Taking responsibility for something is not after the fact. After the fact is that we are reacting to, let's say, regret at that point. Taking responsibility for something is what you do before. So you know, say that thing, no, that not good, so I'm not going to do it. You don't take responsibility after, and you know say it's not good, and then you go do it, and then after the fact you say right it. So taking responsibility, as we say, we are challenge these narratives. We are try to think for ourselves. So when you take responsibility for anything, it must be that you analyze, you look on all the good and the bad before, and weigh them, and choose not to do or to do based on what is more positive and what is more negative. So taking responsibility is before the fact of the act. What we are do after we do the act is reacting to, for the most part, regrets and an unfavorable outcome and result. So these things, we need to hold ourselves at a higher, and we say higher thinking, better actions. Yeah? We're too relaxing and we look fool ways and stupidity. And we are use lower limited standards as the standard, and then what we really need to do, we see it as extreme. You know what I mean? And most of that is coming from how they taught us to think and not what we should be thinking. So we need to challenge that within ourselves, so we can pass on something better to our children them. So if we really love them, we're supposed to give them the information in terms of what them look on, what them eat, what them listen to, what them drink. If we come live them best life. And now we can live our best life based on doing the things that are not helping us physically, mentally, spiritually. All we have to do is run around like we head cut off in that regards. So your best life have to come from choosing the best information and using that best information for all the benefits that it will provide. So we need to check this, we need to understand this. But the greatest thing out of all of the attributes we can have and develop is not love, is not respect, is understanding. Because from understanding, the love and the respect will come. But if you don't have understanding and have all else, you're still going to be in chaos and mayhem and craziness, as we see we are doing. So we need to check into this. Do we really love our children? And if we really love them, we need to leave a legacy of health for them. Because everything else comes from that. You're able to do everything else if you're healthy. So once a blessed love. World family, African family. Take care of the environment, take care of yourself. I would say, listen for more than what is said. Look for more than what is shown. Use sense. I mean, I say it should make sense before it makes sense, and not the other way around. So we know what's going on in the world now. So not just based on what them say, the life in a danger, so you just go jump and do anything. Because as we say, we see people are walk around in a space with them and nobody but them face cover up under what them are called masks and all these things. As we there start talk about health. So when we check the information, dissect the information and choose what makes sense now. In all aspects of our lives. And pass it on to the youth then. Blessed love, world family. We say peace. Just take care of each other. And make we hold ourselves to a higher standard to live by. So we can pass that on to the youth then. Blessed love. Give thanks.
Come link with me under the Iroko tree. Make a reason, the river season. Speaking the truth for the youths. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules.